14 billion cigarettes are consumed per day. We are only 8 billion people. Every 20 seconds, somebody commits suicide on this planet. If you are willing, you can rewire your brain completely today. This is about changing your very chemistry, making your very chemistry into your blissful chemistry. So today particularly is very important because the world is facing certain situations. There are many aspects to this. One important aspect is the mental health on the planet, the human mental health on the planet is in serious question. When I say in serious question, mental ill health is no more something that happens to somebody far away, somebody goes crazy. No, we are coming to a time and age where just about anybody can lose their mental balance. It is expected that in the next 15 to 20 years, there may be hardly any family left without at least one mentally ill person. If you look at the statistics in United States and Western Europe, you must understand, don't think only Americans go crazy. They're always first on the list, America first. Everybody else will follow. India is not far behind. 20% of the adults in United States suffer from some kind of diagnosed mental illness. So many others have not been diagnosed. Even doctors cannot treat them, So they don't go to doctors, they're just… their families and friends will have to bear with their madness. 55%, that is 28 million people with mental illness and no treatment. This is the reality of the world. Every 20 seconds, somebody commits suicide on this planet. Every 40 minutes, a child below 15 years of age commits suicide in India. When children want to kill themselves, we must understand we are doing something fundamentally wrong. When children, who should be bursting with life, they're embodiment of exuberance, but when they want to take their own life, that means we are doing something fundamentally wrong. There are various aspects to this, the type of education that we do, our social situations, and the kind of food we are eating, the kind of atmosphere we're living in, everything adding up. Physical illnesses will come in a big way later, but the first thing that fails is the software. Hardware will also fail after some time. That is also bound to happen, but before that, we hope we'll turn around. But right now, mental illnesses are going through the roof. Over 147 million people on the planet are mentally ill. That's not a small number, but that number is increasing by the day. 8.5 trillion cigarettes are rolled per year. That is, on an average, 14 billion cigarettes are consumed per day. We are only 8 billion people. So smoking a cigarette, consuming alcohol or consumption of other kinds of drugs, this is not a moral issue, this is an existential issue. What is it doing to your physiological fabric and your mental fabric? That is the issue. The question is not about whether it's right or wrong. A science magazine conducted certain experiments in United States that the choice was, for 15 minutes, you either sit quietly or you opt for an electric shock. Can you believe this? Over 2/3 of the men preferred an electric shock. 1/4 of the women preferred an electric shock. It's better to have an electric shock than sit quietly. So, this is very important at a time like this, when human beings are on such levels of agitation, such levels of irritation, such levels of fragile mental fabric. Inner engineering acquires a serious significance. Inner engineering is not about changing your attitudes, not about changing your ethic, not about learning a few tricks. This is about changing your very chemistry, making your very chemistry into your blissful chemistry. This is what it is about. This needs to happen to the world. You need to understand, I've been talking about this for 40 years now, that if you are willing, you can rewire your brain completely today. In 24 hours' time, you can alter your epigenetic system in such a way that no matter who your father and mother were, no matter what your genetic quality is, you can be a completely different person tomorrow morning. But for you to take charge, a little support by changing the patterns of your energy, by changing the patterns of your chemistry, by changing the patterns of your psychological process, only then you have this freedom to change it. You should probably already know this, being the 40th year or 40 years, we are delivering a much more upgraded inner engineering, adding various aspects to enhance experience. From today on, it'll be launched. What used to be 2 programs, 7 days of inner engineering preparatory and 2 days of completion, now is merged into 1 program, and that means the cost for people will come down by nearly 60%. We want this to happen, so we merge 2 programs into 1. You just enroll for shambhavi and inner engineering preparation comes free of cost. That's how it is.
So inner engineering offers a unique opportunity for self-exploration and transformation, leading to a life of fulfillment and joy. It is available in a variety of course formats, both online and in person. So if you wish to join inner engineering program, I have put the link in the description box, so just go and check out there. Now, there has been many research on inner engineering. Now, inner engineering practitioners reported 31% lower stress scores than the general population. A study consisting of 6,892 participants during the COVID-19 pandemic demonstrated that inner engineering practitioners had lower median stress levels compared to non-meditating controls. Now, this was a graph between the lower stress versus the medium stress. Additionally, inner engineering practitioners had lower anxiety and depression along with higher scores of joy and well-being. For those who do a daily practice of inner engineering, had shown to reduce stress by 54% after 8 weeks of regular practice and has been linked to improved well-being and positive work outcomes. The median perceived stress scale, that is PSS score, for yoga practitioners compared to active and placebo comparators was significantly lower at all time points. Among the randomized participants, they were compliant for the full 12 weeks. The active comparators had significantly lower median PSS scores than the placebo comparators. Among the working professionals, compliant participants reported a 54% reduction in stress levels after 8 weeks of practice. Now, the practice included with inner engineering have shown to have significant benefits. 4 weeks of Upa Yoga practice has been linked with reduced stress, anxiety and depression along with improvement in well-being. Another practice included with inner engineering program is a 15-minute meditation called isha kriya. Now, this practice decreased total mood disturbances and negative emotion just after one sitting. Furthermore, 6 weeks of isha kriya practice resulted in a 36% reduction in self-reported anxiety, including 48% decrease in those experiencing severe anxiety. Now, this was stronger for those with depression, as 6 weeks of practice resulted in 46% reduction, including a 50% reduction for those who were initially considered depressed. After 6 weeks of practice, a majority of those who initially reported depression were no longer considered depressed. Now, meditators had a 4.8 times greater parasympathetic nervous system PNS response compared to controls. Now, along with inner engineering, there have been many research made in Shambhavi Mahamudra also, which shows the brain wave pattern. Now, according to the research, the alpha and delta brain waves has increased, whereas beta brain waves get decreased after practicing Shambhavi Mahamudra. Not only this, there was a study on 536 participants. Now, this 536 Shambhavi practitioners showed improvement in chronic ailments like hypertension, asthma, headaches, migraines, diabetes, back or neck pain, digestive disorders, and many more diseases like this. After practicing Shambhavi, 84% reported improvement in insomnia, 40% with reduced medication, and 30% stopped medication in sleeping disorders. Whereas in menstrual disorders, 80% people started having regular and normal cycles. 72% people showed decrease in TMS psychological symptoms, and 57% people got decreased in severe symptoms as dysmenorrhea. Now, according to all this data, inner engineering and Shambhavi also shows benefits like maintains high energy and alertness throughout the day, improves communication and interpersonal relationships, enhance mental clarity, emotional balance and productivity, eliminates stress, fear and anxiety. You can achieve joy, tranquility and fulfillment just by doing these programs. Now, prerequisite for Shambhavi Mahamudra is you should have the completion of all 7 sessions of inner engineering online course, and 15 plus age group is required. No prior experience of yoga is required. If you are under the age of 18, please do have your parents or guardian contact at india.iec@innerengineering.com to complete the registration process for you. Now, there are certain requirements, that is, you require quiet and private space, ideally approximately a sufficient room for yoga practice, and there are some technical requirements too, which if you wish to join the program, I have given the link in the description. You can just visit if you found the video meaningful and check out to give it a like, share and subscribe to the channel. Up to next, stay safe, healthy, happy and namaskar.